This is The Top, where I interview entrepreneurs who are number one or number two in their industry in terms of revenue or customer base. You'll learn how much revenue they're making, what their marketing funnel looks like, and how many customers they have.
I'm now at $20,000 per talk.
5 and 6 million.
He is hell-bent on global domination. We just broke our 100,000 units sold mark.
And I'm your host, Nathan Latka.
I just finished traveling Southeast Asia for 41 days, and I usually always get sick when I travel, and quite frankly, eating is difficult for me. It's hard to find a restaurant, and I'm spoiled in Austin with my personal chef. Well, I took these little packets with me this time, 30 of them, in my carry-on suitcase. They kept me totally healthy with 11 different secret ingredients. You can see them at nathanlatka.com/juice. I'll tell you more later on in the show. That's nathanlatka.com/juice. This is episode 645. Coming up tomorrow morning, you learn from Scott Brinker. He is the creator of the Marketing Tech Chart, which gets over 1 million unique views every time he publishes it. We talk about the future of CRM and who he thinks will win, along with passive monetization. Great content marketer. You won't want to miss Scott tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. Our guest this morning is Kenny Ewan. He leads the overall strategic direction for WeFarm and oversees the day-to-day activities of the business. After graduating, he spent 7 years in Peru running an international NGO where he specialized in work with indigenous communities. Kenny then played a lead role in developing WeFarm before launching it as a startup in 2015. Kenny, are you ready to take us to the top?
Sure am.
All right. Tell us, what is WeFarm and how do you guys support yourself? How do you generate revenue?
Big first question. At the moment, we're very much a growth-focused model, similar in the way that we're going about things to the likes of Facebook or Twitter, even though we'd want to have a substantially different product. For us, it's about growing a massive volume of people using our product and using it regularly, and we'll look to monetize on the back of that. But that'll be in two principal ways. One is through the data that we generate, so no one's personal information, but looking at aggregated data from the world's supply chain. 500 million farmers without internet, but supplying 70% of the world's food. We have unique insight and data from that whole supply chain to provide to the businesses that are ultimately supplying from them, and also offering services to those farmers themselves. So when they ask us a question about where they can buy a vaccine for their chicken or buy a seed type, we can provide that link to a seller who has that product, and we can take a small transaction commission.
Yeah, this is like Kelvin from Kenya just said, how can we make sure that their tea yields are good in number? This is very cool. So let me see if I understand this properly. You're basically connecting farmers who were previously unconnected to help them learn faster, and maybe you're even helping them with like loans and things to get their farms, yielding more.
Sure. So it's all about information at this stage. That's the only thing we offer. But
okay.
Yeah, we're doing it in a fairly unique way. So, for example, a farmer in rural Kenya who has no access to the internet can send us an SMS-based question for free. Perhaps saying something like, my cow isn't giving milk today. What can I do? WeFarm picks up that message. Our machine learning algorithms look at every part of it: the content, the theme, the keywords, the location, everything about it, and we pick out maybe 10 to 15 people in our network who we know have the right information on that topic to share. So we send it to them as an SMS question. We generally expect 2 to 3 people to answer it, and we get those.
Do you incentivize those people who are answering, or they just do it because they love farming?
They do it because they love farming. We're giving them, often for the first time, we're giving people a platform to be able to share their knowledge. This is how Wikipedia works. This is how everything works, right? But we're probably dealing with that same phenomenon times 10, because we're dealing with people who've never been asked for their opinion and it's never been validated before.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm looking at the live feed on your page. It's fascinating. So just to be clear, it's information right now. Are you're pre-revenue, right?
So we have generated revenue, but we're certainly pre-profit.
Okay, yeah. So what are you've raised capital? How much have you raised?
So we just closed our seed round for about $1.7 million.
Okay, so you've raised in total about 1.7 million?
Yeah, so we started off as a grant project. So we won some money from Google by winning the World Google Impact Challenge a few years ago, and that's how we got going. That gave us the capital to set up the business and get moving.
How much was that typically?
So that was £500,000, which at that point was a lot more dollars than it would be now. But that helped us to get things off the ground. And then, yeah, we have now raised our first commercial investment round, which is obviously a proud moment for us.
Yep, that's great. Congratulations. So about 1.7 million total raised. And how many folks are on your WeFarm team?
So yeah, it grows every day. We're now about 20 worldwide, 10 of which are based here in London. Then we have a team in Nairobi, a team in Kampala, and we have 2 people in Peru.
Very cool. And so how are you getting, I mean, this is a very interesting kind of onboarding model, right? How do you find these disconnected farmers to get them on your platform? And what does it cost you to get one of these folks on your platform new?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? I mean, we're almost having to reinvestigate old-fashioned marketing techniques, certainly from our perspective here in the Western world, and revisit those in the way that we do things. Primarily, we use a couple of different channels. One is radio. So radio is obviously still a widely listened to medium amongst the farmers we target. We partner with radio stations. We invite farmers on, and we find that a really great way to acquire users. Sometimes up to 4,000 or 5,000 people joining in the space of an hour.
Mm-hmm. How many in an hour?
So 4,000, maybe 5,000 people is our record for 1 hour. So yeah, it's definitely great. And the other ways.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say the other ways we partner with people on the ground. So we partner with the businesses that are buying from these farmers, the NGOs that are working with them, and we provide them interesting information and data, and we get access to those networks.
And how many total farmers are on your platform?
So I think we're just about to hit. I guess what's more exciting than the numbers signing up is the amount of activity they contribute to it. So it's pretty the key platform.
Yeah, Kenny, you cut out right when you said the number. How many farmers do you have active on the platform now?
So that's about 140,000 farmers now.
Got it. And then you said what's more important is kind of activity, right? How do you manage or how do you measure activity?
So I guess 2 ways that we measure it is one is kind of monthly active users or people that actively contribute knowledge, which for us averages about 35% of all users actively contribute some piece of information every month, which is obviously extremely high by the standards of most networks. And our retention is extraordinary. So about 85-90% of people are still using the platform 3 months after they sign up, which is again fairly extraordinary.
Define use platform. Does that mean they either asked a question or answered one?
Yeah, so that they're still active members of the community.
Got it.
We find that most people that churn, most people that leave, do so in the first 24 hours. Once people stay for 24 hours, they pretty much never leave.
That's amazing. And it's all just via. I mean, what these farmers actually have is really just a phone and it's an SMS number. That's really the product, basically.
Sure. So we do a lot of very clever things behind the scenes to make this a unique product. But for them, it's a very simple interface through SMS. It is also available online. And obviously, over the next few years, as smartphones become more, come into the market more, that'll be a much higher number. But for now, that's a very small percentage of our users.
And here in February 2017, it says questions asked on your website about 206,300 and answers given about 287,300. So super active marketplace.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting people to sign up is one thing, but if you come back to 6 months later and none of them are using it, that's obviously not a great product. So, that's been the most exciting thing for us to see people use it.
So, Kenny, just to be clear, though, you're not incentivizing the people give answers, kind of like how Quora, right? You just go on an answer. How are you, where the money you have raised, where are you spending most of that right now, since you don't have to pay these people?
So we're not incentivizing in any financial methods. In fact, we're not really incentivizing even in clever gamification ways at this time. We're still very much using our MVP product. That's very much on our roadmap for this year is how do we start to get clever about giving people badges and significance within the platform. But at the moment, our raise is very much for a couple of things. I mean, one is to grow our team. We're now 20 people, as I say, most of that hired off the back of our round. And to improve our product. So, it's an MVP. It's done extremely well. And now we need to take that to the next level. We need to have some of the best machine learning and natural language processing algorithms on the planet because of the nature of the content that we're processing. So that's obviously going to take a lot of capital to get us through the next year and grow the platform towards a million users.
And what's your gut telling you that first revenue will come from? Will it be a data play or what?
Sure. So we already have a couple of commercial contracts with one major high street retailer in the UK.
I thought you said you were pre-revenue.
We're pre-profit. We're not pre-revenue. So I mean, still in terms of the grand scheme of things, fairly insignificant amounts of revenue, but we have validated our revenue sources.
Got it.
So that's obviously exciting.
What do you think you'll do in 2017 in terms of top line revenue? We know it'll be obviously unprofitable, but.
Well, I mean, as I say, actually, one of the interesting things is our investors have encouraged us away from concentrating on revenue. That's not the strategic objective at this point. Let's stop messing around trying to make small amounts of money, and let's grow the network as big as it can be.
Yeah, Kenny, just to be clear, that's why I'm asking. I'm curious how low it is.
So I would expect our revenue this year from really commercial sources to be around $50,000.
So guys, I'm so glad to be back in Austin. I just got back from a major tour of Southeast Asia, went to Sydney, Bangkok, Bali, and Japan. And, I always get sick when I travel. And this particular trip, my gosh, 15 different airports, 20 different hotels. I mean, imagine flushing in airport bathrooms. I was worried about germs and getting all the nutrition I need. I mean, finding a restaurant in Japan, difficult because nothing's in English. So it was hard enough to figure out the train system. But my point is, I had a guy named Drew Canoli on the show who said, Nathan, if you're concerned about that, take these little green packets with you. You just mix them once per day with water. They'll keep you super healthy. You get all your nutrients, and they'll keep you from getting sick. So I took them, and guys, they worked unbelievably well. I got no sickness, just mixed them with water once per day. They didn't make my water bottles all sticky. That's nice. A lot of these mixtures, they make them sticky. It was very clean and smooth. Took them once per day, never got sick. So they've got 11 superfoods. And they're perfect if you're not traveling, but you're just on the go from your office to work. So you can check them out at nathanlatka.com/juice. That's nathanlatka.com/juice. Great. Very good. Well, Kenny, we wish you luck. Let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
Chaos Monkeys.
Chaos Monkeys. Good. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
Elon Musk, to a certain extent. Maybe he has lessons to do and not to do.
Number 2, is there a favorite online tool you have, like HostGator?
My favorite online tool at the moment is definitely Slack.
Number 4, yes. How many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Not too bad. Let's say 6.
And are you married, single? Do you have kids? What's your situation?
I would say practically married. I'm in a long-term relationship.
Okay. Any kiddos?
Not quite yet, no.
All right. And how old are you?
The business is enough.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm about to turn 36.
Very cool. Okay. So last question. Take us back 16 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
It's funny. I was asked this question the other day by somebody, and I think one of the most important things for me has been that we've made mistakes, and I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've learned from all of them. And my 20-year-old self definitely needed a whole pile of advice, but I'm not sure that actually giving it would be a good idea. So I'm happy to let him make mistakes.
There you go. Be more happy to make mistakes, folks. From Kenny, Ewan, again, they've raised about $1.7 million, doing small amounts of revenue, not profitable yet. Focus on helping farmers. I mean, I just love this. Helping farmers who are in kind of disconnected parts of the world learn quicker from each other. That really is the ultimate way to increase yield and productivity over time. They'll be fun to watch. Kenny, Ewan, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you very much.
If you enjoyed Kenny today, go back and listen to Tyler Tate yesterday in episode 644. He's a tech CEO who's now taking on coffee. With $325,000 raised, he did $17,000 in sales in January 2017, helping 750 buyers like you and me find our perfect coffee with his company, crema.co. It would mean the world to me if you guys got any value from this episode, if you would go leave a review on iTunes right now and then subscribe. I hustle like heck to get these episodes out every freaking day for you guys. And trust me, I love it. I would do it with no listeners, but boy, oh boy, it makes my day and it makes my team's day when we see great reviews and get your feedback. So thanks so much. Okay, Top Tribe, I love giving away free money. I feel like Oprah giving away cars, and I have something special for you today. How many of you have heard our super sharp guests talk about success they've had with Facebook and Google Ads? Well, all of you listening right now, yes, if you're listening, you get $100 in free AdWords. Here's how you get it, okay? Again, thanks for listening. Get the free $100 from Google right when you sign up with my website host provider, HostGator. Go sign up now to get your free money. HostGator.com/Nathan. Again, that's HostGator.com/Nathan.